I have a very special guest on the Full Circle today. She is the incredible frontwoman of Vukovi, who are absolutely smashing it with the release of their amazing and most personal album to date, My God Has Got a Gun, almost a year to the day. They put on epic live shows and are about to start part two of My God Has Got a Gun tour. The energy, openness, and of course, the epic music videos make them one of the best bands on the scene. An absolute honor to have her on the Full Circle. Her name is Janine Shilstone. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, Janine.
Hello. What an intro. I was
Absolute pleasure.
yeah, I was having a bit of a certificate smile there when you were saying all that stuff. I was like, he's talking about us.
Absolute pleasure. And no, completely deserved. Thank you so much for coming on the show. How are you today?
I'm good, yeah. I'm just waiting on some Christmas parcels really. You know that way it's what, the 12th of December. I think the music industry starts to sort of wind down. I think Christmas is probably the only time that the music industry sort of switches off. So I'm kind of getting into Christmas mode and just saying everything's Christmas.
Is Christmas a big part for you? A big holiday or
Yeah, my family love it. I'm not like I mean, I'm not putting a tree up this year, and I'm not a Scrooge. I do like Christmas, but some years I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling it this year. But yeah, I do love all the overindulging, and I like buying gifts for people, and obviously I
yeah.
like receiving gifts. It's pretty fun as well.
No, of course. What's on your dinner table for Christmas?
Well, I'm actually going to Arran, the Isle of Arran. It's like a little island off of uh, west coast of Scotland where the majority of my life I spent. It's honestly like paradise. Like there's just something about it that I love. It's just beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Just classic dinner, turkey, all the trimmings, like just standard Christmas dinner, basically.
Nice. No. And is it always, I don't know, in Scotland, do you get a right Christmas or is it actually quite
No, I
rare?
think due to probably global warming, we've not seen snow in a while. But I remember like 20 odd years ago, it was quite common to have a white Christmas.
Hmm.
But no, not so much now. A lot milder.
No. No, I don't think I've ever had a white Christmas down
Oh,
here. I mean, I'm
really?
originally from Coventry. I don't think there's ever been a white Christmas in these ends. So I wondered if it was a bit more common up in Scotland, but you're right, we're forgetting a bit.
Let's give it that one.
Yes. Yeah. Even Scotland's getting warm.
I
Wow.
had, I honestly, this isn't a really good chat, but I had to sleep with my window open last night, and I'm like, it's literally in the middle of December. I was so warm. I don't know what's going on.
That is shocking. I'm not gonna lie.
I like usually in December I'm wearing like my big thick coats, and I love a good coat, and I'm still wearing like my light max. So yeah, bit worrying, but good for the heating baths.
That's true. Yeah, 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 that's true. Saves money on heating and things like that. I'm very excited to hear about your full circle song choices, and we'll get into that in a second. But what I want to hear from you is I want to hear a fun fact that you've never shared before on a podcast or on an interview. I know that might be tricky, but I wanna make this unique.
Oh God. Um, this is so lame, but I can lick my own elbow. Like that's I meant to be not possible.
Are you willing to
I
to
I will
demonstrate?
happily show you. But I know that I'm gonna look like an absolute girl. This is when I realize that I can't do anymore.
Oh, wow.
Right? I mean, I'm totally worth the facial expressions for that.
Incredible. You know, there's gonna be so many screenshots of that now, and it's
Oh,
oh, dear. That is cool. I don't yeah,
so that was the first thing that literally popped into my head.
uh, I can't do it. I'm struggling. Yeah.
I have to like really force it.
You don't get freaked out by, like, people doing, like, weird things with their joints, do you?
Not really, no. No. I think I'm good with it.
Fine, fine. The reason I'm saying this is because I can do this with my thumb, like that. Like, I can, like, really bend it far back.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
mental. When you do it
Yeah.
like side on, holy, holy, holy sugar. Uh, see, I'm good. I'm not sworn yet. It's amazing.
Thank you. 5 minutes in, not one swear
Good.
word. That's good.
I'm proud of myself.
No, amazing. Right. Yeah, let's go into full circle song choices. We're gonna hear a lot about you and a lot about your band and life and answer some would you rather questions. But I wanna start with the first song. What's the first song you've chosen for the full circle?
The first song is Mr. Vain. And it was by, oh my god, Culture. Totally just slipped my mind. Mr. Vain by Culture Beat. That was it.
Ultra Beat, Mr. Vane, the first song of the full circle, and I'll make a playlist and people can check these songs out. I guess it'll be interesting to know what's special for you about this song.
Well, I was thinking this like when I was putting the songs together. I was just like, what is the first song that I ever remember? Like, just have a sort of core memory of this being a song, well, like the first sort of song that you sort of have a memory of, and this was it. I spent the first sort of 6 years of my life living in West Berlin, um, and when my mum and dad split up, my mum moved back to Ayrshire in Scotland, and I'd never been there before. Um, so my memory is being in our new like flat in Kilwinning in Ayrshire and jumping on the bed to this song, like and dancing. And I have a really like a baby brother as well, and I just have got that core memory of us like jumping about the room, like calling Mr. Radar, calling Mr. Wrong. It's like it's such a tune. I was listening to I listened to the songs yesterday, all like in a one. Yeah, that is literally, I would say, probably my first memory of a song.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, it's a really yeah, it's a banging song, and it's a yeah, a great first song to remember. I'm trying to remember what mine is. Maybe maybe like Spice Girls. No, S Club 7.
Oh
Is
my
it is
god,
it is it Reach for the Stars? That's probably
I
the
love
first song
that
that I
song.
think yeah, that is an
Absolutely love
absolute
that song.
tune. Yeah. And before we go into Would You Rather, obviously I want to talk about you and your upcoming tour.
Yes.
And that's happening later in the end near the end of January, isn't it?
Yes. I think it's the 30th. It starts 30th of January.
And it's part two of your My God Has Got a Gun tour.
Yes. We wanted to go back to some places that we hadn't been to in a few years. And I guess you can call it a B market tour. Because you're sort of playing not your main cities, but Nottingham, Southampton, that kind of like Brighton. It's sort of they call them B markets. And I think touring is quite scary just now. It's very expensive, and people don't have a lot of money right now. Um, so it was quite a bold decision to be like, "F it, let's do this," and we're really happy with how it's selling, and yeah, I think it'll be a really good sort of bit of closure for this album. Um, we might do an album playthrough, like we did with Nula, but um, yeah, right now we're focusing on the tour, but yeah, I can't wait. It's been in people's lives for a year as well who are becoming at the show, so I'd like it would be nice to see the difference of an album that's been out a year and people have had a year to really connect with it, rather than when we did our main album tour. The album was only out a few weeks, so it was quite fresh. Uh, so yeah, and plus we're playing old songs as well. We're not just doing all the new stuff. Like we're gonna put some older songs in as well, and just we were looking at the set last night. We always like to try and change it up, but it's absolute banger central, to be honest. Like yeah, we are spoiled now for like set lists.
Yeah, that's something which I always wonder. Like, it must be so difficult to sort of be like, "Oh, it's such a shame we can't play this song live," even if it's like one of your favorites from the past and things like that. It must be so difficult to like juggle that.
I know because like we obviously we've got loyal, long standing fans, and then you're always trying to pick up new fans. So um but also it's what you want it to be fun as well. Like we want to play songs that we like as well. And um yeah, I think it is hard though. You can't please everybody. Like it's funny because you'll do like you'll be on stage and someone will hold up their phone to be like, play Mercy Kill, when it's like, we planned this set. Like we're not comfortable just playing shit off the cuff. Sorry, just with it. But it's funny.
Is there one song you're particularly looking forward to playing live, which may be new on the set list, or
Definitely Bladed. So when we wrote that song's the last song on the album, and actually it's my favorite song. Um, and when sometimes when you write an album, you need to think about the order of it, and some of the feedback was we should put Bladed near the start because it's such a banger. People might not skip to the end, but we just felt like, nah, like we're gonna keep it at the end. There's something about that song that closes off, I think, the album beautifully. Um, so we stuck with our guns on that, but then we were like, right, well, we're gonna do that as the last sort of single of the album, and we wrote that song for live purposes. Like you've got that big build up near the end. It's a 5 minute song, like kind of not particularly radio friendly, but when we played it live at our festivals, we played it live at the last tour, when people didn't know it and folk just went off. There was something about it that it just got people moving regardless of whether they knew it or not. So now to play it, a year in where people know it more, we've just put out as a single. Um, it's getting a bit more attention that it deserves. So yeah, that song to me is just to see it translate live is that's what's so exciting.
yeah. The music video is epic. You guys make the music your music video is just so creative, and I sort of think this like back in the day, like I wish music video channels existed because your music videos would just absolutely smash it on
Thank
like
you.
Kerrang or whatever.
It's so funny because we take a lot of pride in our visuals, and it is really important to Vukovi. But I think when you're in it, like I struggle sometimes to look at our own work and be like, yeah, that's really good. Like you kind of disassociate sometimes with like, but visuals as well and videos, you're like, I don't even know if this is good. Like you just become so immersed in your own work. You're like, is this rubbish? Like it sometimes takes a. I think that's a pretty common trait of an artist. You just I've got it's like I've got no idea if this is even good anymore. But I guess you just need to trust yourself. But it's nice to hear an outsider's view on that. I really appreciate that because it's yeah.
No, of course. I get it. I get it. You create things, you write things, it feels very personal to you, or you think it's decent, but I guess there's always this, what are other people going to think? Is it only me that likes this, but
Yeah.
I think the reception, I mean, we'll talk about your albums later on, but the reception to your latest album has been phenomenal. I mean,
Again, like honest, that is it's so mad to talk to an outsider's point of view from that because again, me and Hamish are so in it that we do struggle to take a step back and be like, wait a minute here, like we've achieved a lot. Like, let's go cut ourselves some slack. Um, but we are so proud of the album. Like, how it follow Nula with that, like that was a lot of pressure because here was a banner. Um, and it was so well received. So you're like, we need to follow this up with not another Nula, but also still Vukovi. So yeah, I'm proud of ourselves because that was a lot of pressure. we just stuck to being us and just trusted ourselves and our capabilities. I think that's all you can do sometimes when you're taking a risk.
And it's really paid off. And I suspect after the tour's over, will next album be on the works, or is it a break? What's the plans after?
Um, so technically, we've only signed a one album deal with Sharp Tone. So we're technically free, but like that. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, I think we are gagging to write new music now. I wouldn't say we're going to be in a rush to release new music. We'll see. Like, I think we need Christmas is going to be a good break for us because it has been a mental, and I'm going to say 3 years. I mean, I feel like the whole of Vukovi has been mental when I think about it, but particularly the last 3 years, you could say it has taken off, and that does take time to adapt to a new reality. That's been quite hard, but also amazing at the same time. I don't even remember where you started there. I'm doing that thing where I just sort of go off in one.
No, no, no. I love it. I just love hearing chat and
Well,
just
that feels as long as you're cool with that, because I do send. I'm quite bad at like moving down a wee rabbit hole and then I forget where I started. So I'm not good at that.
no, no, no. All it was just, you answered it. It was just about whether, what future plans are, but you've answered it, and I love hearing the conversations. No, so yeah, so definitely get. Where's your is there a particular place that I mean, I'm sure you're excited for all the cities at exactly the same level of excitement, but is there one particular city which you're like, oh, I'm looking forward to going there? Haven't been there for a little while, or
Oh, Nottingham and Sheffield, like everywhere we're going, we gave most of the cities to our agent to be like, we're thinking here. And our agent Emma she's amazing. Like we do trust her with that. So she's like, right, we've got you. But um I, Sheffield and Nottingham, I would say like we have not been there. We've never played a headline show in Sheffield before. Um, so again, like that is scary but exciting because you're like, we could sell 5 tickets, no one might, but yeah, I think that's going to be amazing. And I love Nottingham as a city. Southampton's cool. Like, yeah, we've not been to Aberdeen in forever. Um, yeah, I'm really, honestly, like, I'm so glad we're doing this. Um, I think we need it. And I think everyone will need it after Christmas. And January is depressing. And like, it'd be nice just to be like, right, here, we're back. Let's blow the cobwebs away. Get ready for another year. Well, well.
are you a New Year's resolution person, or?
That's a really good question. And you know what? I was talking to my aunt last night on the phone, and I had to show you the phone signal there, phone symbol. Talking to my aunt last night on the phone, and we were chatting about like what what you've learned this year rather than what's my New Year's resolution. I think I'm more of a what have I learned this year that I'm gonna take to next year. Um and I cannot remember for the life of me what I told her, and that is really bad. But we had the same answer. It will come back to me by the way. Um but I think yeah, I do remember one of them. One of them was don't give too much away. Um And I can't remember the other one. The other one was really good, but that will come back to me.
If it comes back at any point, even if it's completely just say it.
I'm actually gonna text her right now and be like, "What the hell was the other thing?" She just texted me. Sorry, I hope you don't mind this.
Of
She
course.
just texted me as well. Oh, sorry. My aunt has a phenomenal life story, by the way, and you would never believe what is going on with her right now. She's wrote a book, she's an author, and she got a movie deal with NGM. Kate Winslet was gonna play her, and it's insane. She wrote a book called The Devil's Coin. It's up there, and she basically got this woman that ran a Ponzi cryptocurrency scheme. Out, she scammed billions. When I say billions, I mean billions out of of working class people all around the world. My aunt got her on the FBI most wanted list. She was threatened by the mafia. She's had death threats. Honestly, that's a whole other story, by the way. But she's having a wee photo shoot today. She's going to be in the House of Parliament speaking, and I'm so proud of her. And she just sent me her outfit, and I really just have to tell her she looks amazing because I know she's nervous.
Wow. What's
I
her name?
Her name's Jennifer McAdam.
Ah,
She lives
Jennifer.
in
That's
Conan.
incredible.
She literally lives around the corner from my mum in Conan. Like she is big inspiration for me. Um, to see it's to see what she's done and achieved. It's incredible. I'm just so proud of her. So that's who I was talking to last night on the phone, and we were chatting about what we've learned this year. Can I remember the good one? I can only remember. Don't tell. What did I say? I was like, it was like, don't give too much away. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, just don't need to tell everybody everything.
Yeah.
Although I do
Less
that,
is,
just
yeah.
but right. It's just been a bit more careful with like information that you want.
Yeah. Less is more, I think, is quite an important thing. I think I'm a bit of an oversharer in general.
Like
And I think I've tried my best to like reduce that because sometimes I feel like if you do give too much away, I don't know. It's harsh to say it, but sometimes people might take advantage of that. Do you know what I mean?
that is literally the reason why we were saying that last night. I'm an oversharer in a sense when I connect with someone. Like I'm happy to have a good deep conversation. I love a deep conversation, but I think you sort of learn through time. And it's horrible. It's weird to say this, but even I've noticed a difference in the past few years with like trust issues that I have with people, especially folk that are involved in a music capacity. And I've been burnt a couple of times, and I think I've just sort of tried to learn like just don't just be a bit more careful. Um but also don't give yourself a hard time if you go, oh my god, I can't believe I was talking saying that last night or telling that person that something, because I think there is a beauty between being vulnerable with someone and being really open and allowing someone else to open up and not be so scared. So it's just try to balance that basically.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry that's happened to you though. That's such a shame that that has happened and it's sort of made you feel that way.
I feel like it's quite common. I feel that's quite a common sort of life lesson, but I definitely have noticed a difference in the past few years about how people treat you, but also that's also can be in your head because you're like, oh, they just want to talk to me or be my pal because of Janine Vukovi, or do they don't give a about the band? They like me as a person, and it's really hard to like not completely shut yourself out of having relationships with people because of that.
Yeah. Do you think that's happened in the music scene itself, or do you just talking about like general, like just people, or
Mostly, I think most of the music scene, I would say, but some people that I've known for a while, just I don't know. I just sometimes feel a shift in how people treat you. Um, but I don't know if that has an element of paranoia because of um things have changed for us. Like, and we're not on not on an insane level of fame. I'm not like Kardashian level famous or anything, but there's definitely, the more successful the band is getting, there definitely does come that an element of like I sometimes don't feel like I don't know what my reality is sometimes. Um yeah. Like I'm the same person, but I feel like people around me have shifted sometimes in behaviors, or like, but again, I question like, oh, are they just using us or piggybacking on Vukovi? And yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot to think about. But I don't think it's healthy to shut everybody out basically, and be like, I don't trust anyone. But that I'm trying to work on that. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky situation. I think sadly when people do become more successful, there might be other people that might wanna take advantage of that and maybe I think yeah, I think it happens in all sort of areas of life, and I think, yeah, it's a shame it happens. It's sadly, I hate to say it, it's probably inevitable. But I think the most important thing is just making sure you know who you can trust and being with the right people and being with the people that you know have got your back and not doing that, I guess. And
yeah,
that can be tricky.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just a shame, isn't it? That's
yeah.
all.
But it is, you're right. If it's not just the music industry, it's literally just life. It's a life lesson. Um,
Yeah. Right. Let's
I just realized
let's
we've only done one song.
yeah, I just realized as well.
Sorry, we'll speed this up.
No, it's me. I love to chat, but I also also realize that the format of the show is like the songs. So no, let's think about let's see how does Culture Beat Mr. Vane link to the second song on the Full Circle?
I mean, I've jumped quite. I mean, I picked five songs is nothing for to think about like in your life. So I did jump to this is Faithless is significant because it was the first gig I ever went to, and I was 14 years old. It was an over 18s gig in this warehouse outside Edinburgh, and my boyfriend's parents at the time were going, and they were like, "Do you want to come?" Um, so I had to dress up and look 18 so I could get in. Uh, and that did change my life, to be honest. Like I love I love Faithless. I love that genre of music. I listened to a lot of it growing up, and um I like didn't take drugs or anything. I was 14 years old, so everyone around me is like probably on Eckies or Mandy or whatever, but to look at people and see how free everyone was, I now know that a lot of that was drugs, but like the music was just to me that was like a genuine organic experience um of live music without drugs. Like just like I remember watching Sister Bliss, and she's doing about five things at the one time on stage. And I was just completely in awe. And I love the music, and yeah, I just that was life changing for me. Like just because I mean that's quite old, I would say, to for your first gig, like your first live sort of going to an actual gig. 14, but yeah, it was. I'll never forget it. Remember waiting in the queue to get in and being like, "Oh, I need to be," and I'm meant to be 18. Didn't give a shit. But I don't think it would be like that now. It wasn't very strict back then, I don't think.
No. Wow. And that's a cool first gig to go to and a great song. Yeah,
And
Faithless
it's also
Tarantula.
yeah, Tarantula is one of my favorite tracks. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever get fed up with that song.
I'm absolutely gutted that I didn't get a chance to see them. I should have, it's one of those things where you just sometimes think you've got all the time in the world, and I
Mm.
should have it's just absolutely gutting that I didn't get a chance to see them with Maxi.
Honestly, like I know they were touring, might have been this year or last year without Maxi, but he was yeah, one of a kind. But I do again. I think Sister Bliss is equally talented in that band. Like I was, yeah, she was so badass.
Yeah.
Very
No,
very cool.
incredible. Incredible. Yeah, Faithless Tarantula, the second song on the Full Circle. So that was your first ever gig at the age of 14?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, bit cooler than mine. Mine was Razorlight.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Yeah, it was okay. It was a friend's birthday gift, and he offered it to us. It was seats. We were miles back. It was fine. The only thing that happened is that this was back in the day when you could smoke indoors. And I went to the toilets and everyone was just smoking in there. And then the next day, my mum smelt my
Oh,
t-shirt. I got in a lot of trouble. She didn't
fair,
believe me.
fair. You're like, I swear to God. For what age were you?
How old have I been? Similar age, I think,
Oh,
like 14,
really?
15.
Right, okay. Um,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
that's fine.
Right, shall we do some would you rather?
Yes.
So, hopefully these are pretty tough questions. One of them is specifically about Scotland, but I'm sorry if it's very stereotypical. Apparently, it's one of the hardest would you rather questions for people from Scotland. So let's start with
Okay.
that one.
Right.
Would you rather be locked in a box full of midges for an hour, or listen to your nan's bagpipe CD on repeat for a week?
Jesus. For a week, like solid, I don't get to sleep.
Uh, let's say you can sleep an acceptable amount of time.
Right, you're allowed to sleep. That's so hard because honestly, even being stuck in a box with midges for 10 minutes, you're effed. Like, I'd need my bagpipes. Genuinely. Like, absolutely. If I don't have any like sort of protective like suit on so that the midges don't crawl up my nose and in my ears and in my mouth and then wherever, like I couldn't. It is horrendous. Um I've not experienced like a midget attack in a long time. I went camping years ago to like near Glencoe, which can't recommend enough by the way. Like it was like glamping. The stars up there are out of this world. I've never seen stars like it. And I saw them by accident because I went to the toilet in the middle of the night, went outside and just saw this like carpet of stars that genuinely felt like you could touch. I've never experienced anything like it in my life. But anyway, we left. We had to go home early because the midges were horrendous. Like never, never experienced anything like that in my life. Um, but yeah, that is like a core memory of midges, basically. Camping in Glencoe.
Nice. So no midges. So you'd
No,
rather listen to your nan's bagpipe CD for a
I,
week.
if I can have a wee nap and like a wee break, like I'll figure it out.
Yeah, that's fair. So midgets are quite a significant thing in Scotland then.
Yeah, they're bad. I've not. I don't think I've actually experienced midges that bad this year, but oh my god, they're horrendous.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound ideal. Yeah, I'd probably go for the bagpipes. I don't mind bagpipe music, but yeah.
I yeah, I quite like bagpipes. Maybe not per week, but
Yeah. Yeah. Better than getting attacked for an hour by midgets, though,
that
I
was
think.
hard.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
hard question.
Okay, back to music. Would you? Well, I mean, that technically was a bit of music, but would you rather have to release an album every year, but you can't release any singles or do any promotions, or release one song a month, but with no like album forever?
That's so hard. Honestly, think kind of feeling a song, album a year, but no advertising of it. I think. Well, depends if you build up like a fan base and we're like, right, we're just gonna release an album a year, but we're not gonna advertise it. Like you just need to find it yourself, basically, like something kind of funny about that. And kind of like cool about that, because what would just kind of stumble upon it and be like, oh, this is cool. Don't know if that would work out financially better for us though. That's a hard one. I think I'm gonna go with the album a year, but no, what's no campaigning it.
And I think that would definitely be, yeah, I think that would definitely be the cooler option. And I think that would be the option I would choose as well. And especially as a listener, I definitely would like that. But I think the honest truth is that maybe with the streaming industry as it is, releasing a single a month probably is going to be like, I don't know, get you more
I
exposure. I
agree.
guess it just depends on the level, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Of how you are. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that. I think like if he did release a single a month, you would probably make more money in streams and you're constantly like there. Whereas an album a year, like probably for I don't know, depending when you release it, but yeah, definitely doesn't. I wouldn't give us as much exposure, but that sounds exhausting. A single a month. Imagining a video a month. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that would be a challenge. Yeah, fair. Okay, last one. This is a really hard one. I'm sorry. I'm really struggling with this one. Would you rather have to listen to only one song for the rest of your life or never be able to hear a song again after hearing it once?
Oh, never been able to hear a song again after hearing it once. I kind of love that. Also, that would be a bit torturous because you'd be like, "Oh my god, I love like when you know what I mean when you come across a song and you're like, I'm gonna rinse this for weeks." I know that that would be gone. That option would be gone. That is a wee bit gutting, but there is something kind of like living off the memory of that one listen. You would almost hold the songs in higher regards and in a much higher pedestal. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah. It's true actually, because you might be like, right, I've only got one chance to listen to this song. I need to listen to this properly and see. And yeah, and you're right. And then you probably savor that moment, be like, right, I was here when I heard this song. So you're right. That's probably what's gonna drive that. And I think if you listen to one song for the rest of your life, even if you absolutely love that song, eventually, I think you are gonna be like, I can't listen to it anymore. Eventually.
You would go mad. I think you would go a bit mad. Like you would just lose all like think how inspired you would be by like constantly listening to music, but like obviously you can't listen to it again. But you're yeah, I think you'd be more inspired by that as well, not having just one song for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's completely fair. What if you did have to listen to one song for the rest of your life though? What song would it
Mhm.
be?
Do you know what? The first song that came into my head there was Toto Africa. Just something about that song, like, I mean, I guess after like the 1 millionth play, you would be like, I want to jump off a building, but it's still a good song. There's something very non-offensive about it and like friendly and warm. It's a warm song.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Yeah, that's a good shout. Right, let's see. Let's hear what your third song is. So, Faithless Tarantula, how does that link to the third song on the full circle?
I've sort of kind of went in a timeline. So like 14, I think I was about 15 when Evanescence Bring Me to Life came out, and to me that was like an introduction because I love pop music mostly growing up, and to me that was well, I loved dance and trance and all that, but mainly pop. And when Bring Me to Life, Evanescence came out, it was that heavier side. Definitely made me be like, oh, I really want to be in a rock band. Like that's well cool. And the song is amazing. The piano, and I learned how to play piano, and I just wanted to be Amy Lee. And I love that whole album. I love a lot most of her albums. So yeah, that was like I'd say that was the first like not the first, but like memorable female sort of artist in that heavier realm. Um, it kind of made all the pop music I was listening to like not as cool. Um, but yeah, I have like this very vivid memory of doing like a talent show. Um, and I performed that with like this guy. I mean, I must have been a 14, 15, but round about the same age. Um, and yeah, he did obviously the guy bit, and it was all we absolutely smashed it, and we won. Um, and I always remember like doing that on stage, and I loved it. Because I love the song, and yeah, I think like it wasn't like I'm gonna start. I want to be in a band at that point. I just was like, this is like, and then that got me onto Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, and then everything sort of changed there. That was the door open to like heavier music, and I was like, this is cool. Um, so yeah, that's again, I think that song's timeless. It's so good.
Yeah, completely agree. Evanescence Bring Me to Life, the third song on the full circle. Yeah, an absolute tune. I don't think she liked. I don't think Emily was a big fan of them because I think it was the label that wanted the person to do this, the rapper,
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, because he's not in the band, is he?
No.
Right.
But I don't know. I think at that time it was just it just made the song. I'm not gonna lie, like her singing the piano and then just him going boom, but yeah, I
All
think
of this time, we can't
yeah.
see, kept in the dark. It's so good. It's almost like a rock opera. Like, um, yeah. But no, I can't imagine the song without it. Like, it is what it is, and yeah, that is random though, because I did think that he was in the band. That it was a wee bit confusing, but yeah.
And yeah, like you mentioned, Hybrid Theory, that definitely was a gateway album for me as well. And there was a lot of incredible albums back then. I've been like, Papa Roach. I remember like Infest, what an album that was. Limp Bizkit. There was just so
On
many
Biscuit, yeah.
incredible artists then, and yeah, shaped a lot of the artists. I'm sure, like yourselves. And yeah, it's
Oh,
just yeah,
massively. Like that. A Hybrid Theory was a game changer for me, especially that to me that was heavy music, um, with stunning top lines and lyrics. Like I just thought his top lines were insane. Um, there's not a skippable song on that album.
no. Oh, what an album. Yeah. But yeah, Evanescence Bring Me to Life, the third song on the full circle. Right. I have thought of a quiz, and I'm sorry for the name of the quiz. It's a bit lame, but it works ish. Half rhyme. Right. Vukovi or Baloney?
Okay. Okay. Love that word. That's
Yeah,
such a deep
sorry.
word. Only.
Right. I've divided it into each album to make it a little easier, and hopefully it should be really straightforward. So, three lyric lines. Two of them are Vukovi. One of them is Baloney. Now, the other thing I've done, which I don't know, sorry if it's a bit controversial, is I asked ChatGPT to think of the lyric line as if it was the album at the time. And and I'm not gonna lie, I think it's very obvious which one is AI. But sorry if it isn't. And
Okay. That's okay. Jesus.
but let's see how it goes. So three lyric lines, two of them are Vukovi's, one of them is Baloney. Right. Are
Yeah.
you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from so this is from your first album from Vukovi. So first lyric line. You told me you changed and you've not changed at all. Second one. I'm dancing with the danger that you stitched into my skin.
Yeah.
Third one. Whisper words in my ear. I'll be there for you.
Number two is Baloney. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, I hope I don't get this wrong because that would be really embarrassing. Uh, yeah. I just realized the lyrics in that first album are actually totally ingrained into my being. Um, so yeah. Oh, you're really getting my brain ticking today, which is good. It's very, very good.
Well, glad to help. I guess I wanted to also just talk a bit about your self-title. It's been 8 years now. I mean, how do you like reflecting on it now? How what are your thoughts on that album?
Love it. So proud of it. Like I think it took us 6 years to release that album. Um, and you know when you look back and it's like, how did we make that work? Like his Mark from Lab Records, Mark Orr, like he really took a chance on us. Because he released the first album and it was a good experience as well with Lab. Uh, didn't didn't realize how well it done at the time. It did do really well, and it still does well, in terms of streaming, I guess, and we still play a few songs off the first album live that well, I mean, we're never gonna drop Laddie Da, like, just that is a Vukovi staple, but, yeah, I think looking back now, I appreciate more that how well that done and how well we did there, um, I still think it's a great album, and that was us, like, we're so young and no one knows what they're doing, like, they really don't, and we just yeah, I'm really, really proud of that album, and I think that was sort of the start of realizing I had something like an OCD or something was going on there, and I think listening back now, you can definitely tell that I'm looking for answers, a lot of anger in me, uh, but yeah, I guess that is another way of when you listen back to your albums, don't think you don't know how you were actually feeling at the time, but then when I listen back now, I reflect a lot more of like, oh, that's what I meant there, and that's how I felt here, and that's why I said that. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I don't think none of our albums I would say that we are like, oh, well, wish we could just delete that one. Like I think everything we've done, we're so proud of. It came from a genuine place.
Yeah, no, it's a great album. I mean, you start the album with La Di Da. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, what a way
yeah,
to start the album.
aye.
I'm trying to think. I think the one that stands out for me, just like, obviously we all have our personal favorites. I think the one that stands out for me is Wonder. I think I quite like that one. It's just quite catchy and
Really?
just yeah.
Oh god, so that song do you wanna know what that song's about?
Okay, go on then.
Because I don't wanna ruin the meaning for you.
To me, it's just the cat. I just like it. Just sounds
Yeah.
nice to my ears. So I just want to. I'd be nice to hear what you think about
Oh,
it. To
it's
be honest.
it's it's so dark, but,
Oh,
and that's why I was like, "I
fair
don't
enough.
wanna ruin this for you."
Maybe you are ruining it a little bit. And no, I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
I have actually just ruined that song for me. This song it's sad, but the round about the time we were doing the album, my little brother's one of his close friends killed himself, and, it was on national news because he was missing for days, and there was a sort of niche, whole search for him for like the whole of Coinnin basically got together and tried to find him, and my brother included. Um, and yeah, I just remember when they found him, and they've seen the state my brother was in, and finding, you know, he'd taken his own life, and that to try and look for answers as to why. Uh, I fed off my brother a lot because that was his friend. Like, I obviously knew him, but right, my brother was one of his best friends, and he was one of the last people to see him. So Wonder is Andrew mixed up. That's his name. Uh, but yeah, I think like to me the first line, it's "Wake us up before you go." Like it's just like, oh, I wish you just said something. Um, but yeah, so that's really light-hearted theme. But yeah, I don't think it's an obvious. I don't think the song is. I don't think you would listen to it and be like, "That's what that's about." I don't think.
No, I didn't know that.
So it's yeah, and I don't think it's like completely depressing sounding song. I think it's more of a reflection of what could have if you just let someone know before you left.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing that. That's yeah, awfully sad when these things happen. And you're so right. I think a big thing that can happen, that people may not think that they can reach out to anyone. And I think actually that's the most important thing when you're in that situation.
Yeah.
Just reach out, please
Yeah.
do.
I
It's
think
so
that, and
important.
especially for a man and in a small town like Winning, I just you're not you don't have a good like start if you're like, I know, and I'm not slating Winning, like that's where I was, pretty much brought up, but there's not a lot of opportunities. The suicide rate in the West of Scotland is insane. Breaks records, I think. Um, and there's just not a lot of resources um for mental health, especially. And I do think it's still very behind. Like it's weak for. I don't think it is now, but that kind of mentality of like, oh, men don't cry and you shouldn't be talking. Don't tell people about how you're feeling. But do you know what? This is another thing that kind of annoys me. Um, it takes someone to kill themselves for folk to actually listen. Like, oh, should have done something before then. Even I don't know. Even sometimes I think if you do kind of come out and say I'm really struggling. Like, do people still actually listen or do anything? But then what can you do? It's just a lot to think about. It's yeah,
I think there is definitely a culture of maybe of being reactive rather than proactive. As you say, things only seem to things seem to only happen when something has happened, when something like this has
yeah,
happened. And yeah, in London where I work, our budget's being cut.
yeah.
We're having to look into ways of closing places down. And yeah, it's just a bit of a sorry state, to be honest, and it's such a shame. I mean, there's a lot of charities out there that obviously are very helpful and very
Yeah,
supportive, but you'd like to think they shouldn't be needing to do the bulk of the work, if that makes sense.
I think it's for me. Just I'm going to how I try and manage my mental health after it being pretty bad for years is preventative rather than reactive. Because you don't like if the Samaritans is the first point of call that you need to go to help yourself. That's up. Like there should be way more things in place before you need to go to the Samaritans. Um, and it's but when you don't have a lot of resources and NHS is struggling, it does you do feel a bit helpless if you do go to the doctors and there's no really anything they can do for you. Oh, here's some medication. Put you on a list to talk to someone. It'll take 4 years. Well, would I kill myself with it? Like it just, and I'm laughing because it's not funny, but that's how I deal with things like this. I do try and I use humor to cope. Uh, but yeah, I don't know what the fix for that is. There is a lot of good charities. I know there's it's a better well the Better Help isn't a charity. There's another like Life Link. I think it's a Scottish charity that's good. Breathing Space. It's another charity. Um, but yeah. I feel really bad. I feel like really bad for people right now, especially the fact that there's a very, very limited support you can get with mental health at the moment. So you kind of need to try and figure it out on your own, and that's scary. And I do think people need to cut themselves some slack with that because that's hard.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. And yeah, it's tough times at the moment, but as you say, it's important to just be reflective, but also just be aware that it's get some support and if you need it, and also just as you say, cut some slack and try and live life as you can.
Yeah,
But there's going to be some people that it might be too much, and yeah, that might it might be worth getting that support. Um, Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the second up. Let's move on to Four Better. So these are the three lines. So
Okay.
sit down. No one wants to see that.
Yeah.
I want you to love me, and I want you to stay.
Yeah.
You turn my fear into a pulse I can't ignore.
The third one's baloney. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds made up. Like, like
Is that them like trying to like mimic a Vukovi lyric?
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. I Behave was the song that I first heard
Really?
from you. Yeah, and I absolutely love that song. Please don't tell me it's something like, like one of the worst things
Oh, no,
or
no, 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 that one's alright. No, that's weird. I don't I that's my least favorite Vukovi song, but
whoa.
yeah, it's weird. Don't know why. But it was a single and folk love it. We've not played it live in a while.
No,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was so 2020, so that would have been just
I
during the I mean, you probably would have made it just before the pandemic
Yeah,
and got released.
we
Yeah.
had our tour booked and we cancelled it because that's when lockdown happened. The album tour never happened. The album never really well. Do you know what? It went to number one in the rock metal charts. It did really well. I think because we had to cancel the tour and like, well, we went into lockdown and then started Nula. Um, it didn't. We didn't realize how much that album did for us until after lockdown. Um, Again, yeah, I'm so proud of that album.
Yeah. No, it's a great album. Let's move on to Nulla then. So, the three lyrics are first one, it's like a war in your mind, but you're stronger than you think now. I feel the world reboot around me, but you're the glitch that won't delete.
Good.
Too scared, and the last one is too scared to fall asleep when I'm alone.
Number two is Baloney. Quite like
Yeah.
number two, to be fair. It's quite a nice wee line. I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting lines. But yeah, I mean, no, that album, the reception for that,
Yeah,
and
love that
playing
album.
it in full at the Electric Ballroom. I mean, ah,
Yeah, didn't expect that album to do as well as it did. Um, and we wrote that over all of lockdown pretty much. It was a bit of a lockdown album, but and we did a lot of singles off that album, and it just the campaign was quite slow, and I kind of I don't know if there's a mixture of that, why it worked so well, or it was just the music was good, or it was because we drip fed singles and it was over a length of time. Plus, it was lockdown, so people's attention were more focused on streaming and music. But there, that album, I can't. Sometimes I get a bit of imposter syndrome and listening back to it, or real like just being like, oh, we did that.
yeah,
Actually did that.
Kill It is an absolute
Oh,
banger.
yeah. I love that. I love playing that live, actually. It sounds great live.
Was there always a plan to play it in full, or was it because of the reception you were like, "Do you know what? Let's do this."
Um, yeah, I think it was more I don't think it was planned, definitely wasn't planned from the start. I think because it did so well, we were like, "It deserves this playthrough." I think that's why we would like to do one for My God Has Got a Gun as well, just so that, like, s it's just more of the I mean, it just draws you more into the album as a whole piece, and the theatre of playing it from start to finish. I kinda like it I just given it what it deserves. Um, that's one of my favourite shows ever, the Electric Ballroom. Like I've never that was just the energy in that room was frightening. Like it was I just disassociate, to be honest, because it's so unbelievable. Like seeing that many people come for your music
Yeah,
and
what
like
a
well
feeling.
and that going back to mental health, like that's why like things like live music is so important because like that's your time to just let go, forget about all the that's happening outside. Like just focus on the music, make some pals, have a good time.
Yeah, 100%. I think with Nilo as well, I think there was a shift in your style, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit heavier, maybe a bit more punchy, and also but also I love the variety in it as well. And I think that's yeah, and I think you've built on that. Oh my god, it's got a gun like even more so. And let's think about the which one's the other one out for from this
All right,
one.
okay.
So okay, my voice is screaming, gonna die sorry, my voice is screaming, gonna die. You're in danger. You raided all my virtue, then left me for dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the wreckage of the person you created.
Number three's a baloney. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I thought three.
It's good.
was
It's
quite-
they're getting it. Something macabre.
yeah.
Ooh, that's
I mean, yeah. I mean, you've spoken about my God, it's got to go in like various interviews and podcasts. It's a very personal album for you, and it was like when you were going through therapy, and a lot of it was during that time. I guess reflecting on it now, as we've mentioned, it's always been a year. Do you look at it in a different way now, or how does my God, it's got to go and reflect on you now?
I definitely hear it differently now. Already, and it's only been a year, which is still pretty fresh. Like there's things I say on that album that I don't feel now, but I did at the time, and I think that's something about this album. It's like a journal almost of like a madman's thoughts. Especially when you're going through something like therapy. Like there's those times when I'm angry, I feel sorry for myself, and I'm just spilling it into the music and the lyrics. And but listening back now, there is points where I'm like, oh, I can see that I've got through that feeling now. I don't feel like that now, but I remember the feeling at the time. And yeah, it's pretty pretty dark album. They're all dark, but like very very personal. Um, and I'm not hiding behind a concept. There is a loose concept on this album, but it is more raw, I would say. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's very open. And I think it's great. I think, yeah, it's very, also the music's just very, yeah, again, very punchy, very out there. I think SNO, I love the build up. That's,
Oh, snow. Oh God.
oh, sorry, Snow,
Oh,
Snow,
no,
my
no,
bad.
it's fine. You can either way. Like some people say SNO, some people say snow. So that wasn't meant to be a single, and I personally didn't want it to be a single because I thought it was like, oh, it's a bit of a slow builder, but the Sharp Tone were like, no, we need, let's do 4 singles, release that at Christmas. It's kind of got a Christmassy vibe to it. But sorry, I interrupted you there. You were talking about snow.
No, 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 carry on. I was just gonna say that I just love the build up, and it's just, yeah, probably my favorite on that album. I
Oh,
love build up songs, so
yeah.
yeah.
It's weird. That was one of the first songs we wrote on the album. It was Snow, Gung Ho, and Kitty was the first 3 songs we wrote. And Snow is so different for us. Like again, that was the scary part of going into this album. And Snow does not sound like another Nilla track, but that's what we wrote at the time, and that's what felt right for us. And I think yeah, that last that outro when you get the
Yeah.
doo, 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 it's like yeah, it's worth it. Like the end, um, and yeah, very hard to sing live, um, and to see how it makes people react, um, when we do it live, like that's everything.
Yeah. I mean, also shout out to My God It's Got a Gun. Like that is just such
Oh,
a
it's so sick.
banger.
Aye, it's a pure like that song is meant that song is a bit tongue in cheek. Like it's we changed the chorus to that song last minute. Um it was something else and it just way it was like, oh, there's something's not hitting here. So Machine, who produced the album, we went to Texas to do it in his machine shop, which was one of the best experiences of my life. He was like, I'll give you like 10, 15 minutes work on something else. And Hamish just sort of did the chords, was around the chords, and then uh, it was, oh yes, this is what depression looks like. I did have it as another chorus and another song, and I think I came up with it out of a joke of like, oh yes, this is what depression looks like. This obviously tried to make a joke about how depressed they are at the moment. But yeah, put the new chorus together in about 10, 15 minutes, and then it just changed the song.
Oh
I mean,
wow. Is there like could you release like the demo version of like what it originally sounded like, or is that not?
I can't. It'll be on my Logic, and Hamish will have it as well. I can't even remember what the original chorus went like, but I do remember it being a bit like where you're just like that is another thing as well. It's sometimes we get really attached to like certain choruses, and they maybe just don't quite work in that song. But it's been able to have that like what's the word? Been able to put that connection, to put the attachment aside and be like, this doesn't work for this song. Um, and we don't do that often, to be fair. Like when we come into this, when we come into records, like we usually got everything down. But I think that's part of the process, and that's okay to be like, actually, don't like this chorus. Give us 15 minutes. Um, and it ended up better. I will try and find it though. I'm sure it'll be somewhere. I'll probably listen back to the original and be like, actually, that's class. Did we change that?
Yeah. And this is the only album that I think the title there's a song from the album that's the name of the album.
Yes.
Was that intentional?
No. We were gonna call the album. I think there's a few different names. We were gonna call it, I think, Snow at one point. Hamish should remember the other ones. We had a few other ones, but we kept going back to My God Has Got a Gun. And I think we got into some trouble with the Catholic Church round about that time, just before we started recording the album. Um, and I don't know, it was maybe a wee bit of a
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's multiple meanings behind My God Has Got a Gun. That sense on itself, it's not just we hate God. It's you can take what you want from that title. If you listen to the album, it's yeah, it makes a bit more sense. But it just I don't know. Again, it just kept we just kept coming back to that line. And again, when we did tell Sharp Tone like this is what it's called, they were great in terms of like, well, it's not like there is some countries like, for example, the artwork which you can see behind me, that's original painting. Um
Oh wow.
that got banned in China, and I think it was Iraq and somewhere else. So we had to do alternative artwork because I had a nipple on it. And again, the name, like a name like My God Has Got a Gun, there is going to be certain outlets from different parts of the world that will be like, we're not going to push that. Like, don't like the name. But Sharp Tone were like, it's up to you. It's your album. So, they were very good with just being like, it's your call.
Yeah, I'm glad you have that creative control. Yeah, I think that's fair. Don't compromise and go for what you want to release, and it's your art, it's your music at the end of the day.
Yeah. Um, yeah. It's actually a pure mad title. Like, it's just asking for folk not to promote it. But anyway.
Well, a lot of the promos or, you'll abbreviate it,
Oh, yeah.
won't
Yeah.
yeah. I forgive me, I initially was trying to work out what it I thought, "Is this a Scottish word?" when
I
I
can't
first
remember. It was yeah. I think we released the what do you what's it called? An acronym? It's not is that an acronym?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
released the
yeah,
acronym first, I
yeah.
think, as a little teaser
Okay.
to be like, "What's happening here?" But, yeah.
No, thanks so much, and yeah, it was good to just talk about part of the albums, and yes, you know your lyrics, and you know when
Thanks a lot
AI
for
is get
that.
involved.
Wouldn't have been
Yeah.
embarrassed.
Right, how does Evanescence Bring Me to Life link to the next song on the Full Circle?
So again, just kinda going in a timeline, I think what age was I? I was maybe 21. I, auditioned for a part, of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz in Andrew Lloyd Webber's West End play, and I got through the first the first couple auditions in Glasgow, and then they asked me to come to London. They took us to this, like, secret location in like, a farm somewhere outside London. I can't remember how long, it might have been 5 days or a week or something, and then we had to do, like, dancing, acting, singing. Andrew Lloyd Webber was there, we had to sing for him, and, didn't particularly like the experience, um, but I remember like, I did not enjoy it. Also, I was not that good at acting, like, and a lot of the girls that got through, they had all came from some pretty high-end, musical theatre schools. I didn't even like, I felt completely an outsider. Like, I wasn't, professionally trained in dance or acting. I had some singing lessons at college, but, yeah, it wasn't for me, but I loved that. To me, made me realize that I don't want to be someone else, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to be Dorothy. I want to be Janine. And that when we sung for Andrew Lloyd Webber, and then um he did say, like, you look like you don't want to be here. And I was like, "Nah, I don't." Um, but he was like, "You're a rock star. Go be a rock star." Um, but yeah, I just that was a big learning curve for me. It was a horrible toxic environment. There was cameras everywhere. The producers, it was a program. It was a TV show as well, and they kept trying to, like, get us turning the girls against each other and being like, "Who do you think's the weakest in the group?" And it's like, oh, off. But he makes good telly though. But I just nah, it wasn't for me. But I did make an absolute fool of myself. Like, I basically just got through because of my voice. I was so bad at the acting part. Like, there was the acting coach would just put us all in a circle and give us a script to read for, like, I don't know, 3 minutes, and you had to try and memorize it and then take it off us and be like, in the middle, act out this bit. It was terrifying. And she had, like, a sheet with our faces on it, like, with all of our faces on it. And then, like, all these girls are so good, like, they would go in the middle and be like, "M-E-M, like, right, proper, like, American accent. And then I went in the middle and I'm like, it's like, oh, Toto, um, please come home. Annie M. Absolutely it, right? I swore again. And she just put a big massive cross against my face, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've just made an absolute fool of myself." But yeah, I got down to the last 21 girls. Um, but yeah, that was a mad experience. But yeah, that's why Phantom of the Opera. It's one of my favorite songs ever, and by Andrew Lloyd Webber, and that was a turning point for me because I was like, "Nah, this isn't for me. I want to go down the original. I want to be me." And when I got home, it just so happened that a guy I went to school with, who was original drummer of Vukovi, had just got home from London based really, and he was like, "We're looking for a singer in band. You want to come and jam with us?" see what happens. So I was like, aye, why not? So yeah, that was history, really. It's when Vukovi started.
That's incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Yeah, it's that experience is what led you to who you are today. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Also gave me the whole experience did give me confidence as well though, like with the Finding Dorothy show. To to get that far with basically just relying on my vocal ability. I could dance, but not not the same level as some of these girls. Like you've got like 3 minutes to remember a 15-second routine. I can't even remember the first two steps. So, but it did. I did learn a lot from it, and it gave me a lot of confidence.
Fair. No, amazing. Great song choice. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Phantom of the Opera, the fourth song on the full circle. Now, one more thing just to talk about before we hear your last song. Now, as you know, I work for the NHS. I'm a psychiatrist, and I know you've been very open about your mental health. We've already spoken about mental health experiences already, and touched on it. I guess I always, I know how difficult it is. Obviously for people in general, but also for musicians like yourself in terms of managing mental health and 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 the difficulties as such. And if you're willing to share about it, and also just sort of what advice would you give people who might be in similar situations, and what they can do? I just was just hoping to just hear some words about you and about mental health.
Like for me, like even though the NHS is a bit on its arse, like I'm more try and be more preventative now. Like if I feel myself spiraling a wee bit, then I will get straight to the doctors and just tell them what's going on. And I don't think medication is definitely isn't always the answer, but sometimes I think when you are desperate and you need to get out of a hole, I do think um antidepressants can save you as well. They've saved me, and I don't want to be on them forever, but I just would rather face it head on now than ignore it and use other ways to uh, fill that void or help, like make myself feel better. Um, and really give yourself get really. I think the main thing for me, and something I've learned this year as well, is just be patient with yourself and cut yourself some slack. Like it's really hard right now, and if you can get up out your bed and have a shower, feed yourself, go a walk, and come home, and that's all you can do that day, that's okay. For me, I try and be more preventative now. Um and I don't, as I said, I don't think medication is always the answer. And again, waiting lists are through the roof. Like, how can you expect to be get better? And because therapy does help, I think everyone should go to therapy. Everyone needs to talk. If you think like, even if you think you've had a pretty normal upbringing, still go. Still good just to talk. And again, sort of prevent any future spirals. But scary, like going to the doctor and being really vulnerable, and they can't really do much for you. Um, here's a leaflet for the Samaritans and some medication. See you later. Does make you feel a wee bit defeated, but it helps. Like I think that's just the first step. If you've never got any help before, I do still think you need to go to your doctor. Like don't think you can figure this out on your own. Um, and if you are lucky enough to have the money to go private, then absolutely go private. But I know that's not a lot of people don't have that. Yeah, I think this being patient with yourself and kind to yourself is a first step. When you feel like that, don't give yourself a hard time.
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. I definitely agree. And as someone that works, for
Well,
the
really,
NHS, and
you're in the front line of it.
yeah, and I agree. I agree. Medication isn't always the answer, and it isn't always going to help. But I also agree that I've seen people and I've started on my medications and it is made a difference even if it's for a temporary period
Yeah,
to then allow them to sort of get back into functioning. They might have not been sleeping as well, they might not
yeah,
have been eating as much, and that allows them to build up. And I think sometimes, and I think it's tricky because I think for me, I always say that, this isn't gonna be a quick fix. You need a bit of time,
yeah,
you need a bit of, but as doctors and I think as people, we also find that tricky. We also want to just find, right, what's gonna treat me right there and then. And sometimes with mental health and sometimes with these issues we have, it isn't necessarily going to be a quick fix like that. And it's worth acknowledging that. I think something that I find helpful, and I've told people to sort of do, is maybe reflect on the day, like write, like keep a journal and just write like how they felt during that
mhm,
day, and then see how things are in a couple of, like, see if they get better in a couple of weeks or not, and then they can sort of speak with their mates or with a professional about it and see what doesn't help them. I think for me, I noticed that reflection is quite important, and thinking about what what works for you and what doesn't. For instance, like, even listen to a song that makes you feel better, or or like you say, going for a walk, even if it's like a 5-minute walk, just in small increments.
yeah.
I think that's
A bath is like a big thing for me. Like when I'm having a bit of an episode, like I'll go back to basics. Like wake up, have a bath, have something to eat. Like just really basic. But that has just been like I need to be kind to myself here.
yeah. 'Cause we some no, all I was gonna say, sometimes we, as I think you're saying as well, we sometimes put the most pressure on ourselves. We can be the harshest critics is on us is us.
I think it's only getting worse, especially with social media and this whole perception of perfectionism today. That has had an insane effect on me as well. Like just even when you think it doesn't, like scrolling all day or for hours at a time, seeing perfectionism and the perfect life right in front of your eyes, and you start resenting your own life and where you are, and you're like, this isn't real. All this stuff that you're seeing online, that's not real. Not isn't really. Um, and it is trying to just remind yourself of that and being like, there's only one you, and you're in control of that. Uh,
Yeah. That's absolutely spot on. I think sometimes we think, "Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. Why
oh,
why,"
comparisons.
and then
Oh,
you get a bit, yeah, you get a bit envious perhaps, or a bit frustrated that
yeah,
this isn't happening to you, but the only person to think about is yourself. Don't it's very easy to sort of fall into that sort of feelings, but yeah, and if that's happening, I would say take a break from social media because
oh
it's
god,
not
yeah,
healthy then.
100%. I think that in itself, like going for a walk with music, going to gigs, like take a break from your phone. It's literally the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and I agree with what you're saying about everyone having therapy. I think there's people that give therapy will also have their own person to talk to reflect on the conversation they're having with someone else,
Yeah,
because obviously it can have an impact on them. So I
yeah,
think it is important to yeah, I think that's a very, very good idea. And unfortunately, as you've alluded, on the NHS, there is a bit of a long wait for therapy. Sadly, some places may be quicker than others. In London, unfortunately, there's probably at least a year waiting list, which is just a long time. But yeah, if private is something people can afford, it's something to consider. But and there are low cost counselling services as well, and things like that. Like charities do offer those sorts of things. There's
yeah,
definitely things to pursue. But yeah, I agree with a lot of things you say. And the other thing I also want to add is that obviously it's it's a personal thing as well. Think about what makes you better. Think about what helps you and what doesn't. But as you say, if things are really going downhill or things are really just not at the level you're normally at, your functioning's
yeah,
really being impacted, that's the time to see a doctor and get help.
yeah. Yeah, I think what you were mentioning this earlier about journaling and writing it down. Like, I think what I do if I'm having a bit of an episode, I'll put it in my calendar now and put like a little color so I can look at it from a bigger perspective over a few months and be like, right, when am I having these, and is there any like connection between that, or is it random? And I think that's good to show a doctor as well, just to be like, this is where these like mad purple dots, no good. Uh, but yeah, it's really really hard. And I think it's just doing your try and do it, just do your best. And again, I keep saying, just don't be so hard on yourself. Be really patient yourself. It's not an overnight fix, and that is why people, turn to drugs and addiction, because like that's a quick fix. And I don't blame people for doing that, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's people I'll see as well, people who've been using drugs and trying to help them get off that, and also start them on medication to then reduce the chances of them using drugs and alcohol as well. Alcohol's a big one as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So no, thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, it's I think it's really important to speak about mental health. As you say, it's definitely become more of a, it's definitely there a bit more and people are speaking about it more. But I still think there is a stigma, especially in certain cultures
Yeah.
and dynamics.
Yeah.
And
I ge- um again, this is the beauty of, well, with Vukovi fans, like with our group of, us, it feels more like a community um of people from different walks of life that will meet up at shows and laughing at your drill.
sorry.
It's all right. People that come to the shows and, meet people that maybe you wouldn't usually meet, or get to be friends with. And that in itself, I love. Like, there's such a good energy at our shows of that. Like a positive, like, we're all pals here. We're all here for the same reason. And again, that is the beauty of live music and music itself.
Yeah, 100%. No, thanks so much for sharing that. And yeah, really, really enjoyed the chat. Let's wrap things up. How does Andrew Lloyd Webber, Phantom of the Opera, link to Last Song on the Full Circle?
So I've kind of like jumped a massive amount of years. Not a massive amount, I'm exaggerating, but like I've now jumped to like present time. So that whole period between Angela Weber, me leaving that to do Vukovi, that's all a big blur. So I'm just gonna forget about all that time. But I'm basically gonna end in the last song I listened to. Rosalia Mio Cristo Piange Diamante. I probably pronounced that really badly. It's on the new Lux album, which I love. And yeah, that was the last song I heard. I listened to when I was doing this list. And I thought we could end with the last song I listened to and start with the first song I ever listened to. Well, it's not the first song I ever listened to, but you know what I mean.
Nice. So a legitimate full circle. So actual, yeah. So the last song on the full circle, Ro Rosalia, Mio Cristo Piange Diamanti.
Yes, I know. Right.
That yeah.
Right, so I'm hopeful. But that album to me is probably my favorite album of the year. Um, Purely the boldness of like she's at a point where she tells us what popular music is. It's like this. I'm gonna write an album with the London Symphony Orchestra and speak 14 different languages in it, sing in different styles. Just completely broke the barriers on that. I just love it. It's just beautiful. And that when I listen to this song, especially, I don't know what she's singing about. She's not singing in English, but I felt so emotional listening to it, but going by her performance. Um, and again, it just shows you how universal music is. It's a literally universal language. I don't know what she's talking about, but I am in, and I feel it. Yeah, I just love that album. It's amazing.
Incredible. And just to confirm, it links back to the first song because
That's the first song is the first song was the first song that I have a memory of ever listening to, and then the last song is the last song that I listened to.
perfect. Hence completing the full
Yay.
circle. Yay. Thanks so much, Janine. It's been an absolute honor to have you on the show. check out the live shows in January and February. I'll put the tickets on the episode description. Was there anything that you wanted to add or say before we wrap things up?
No, just thank you for chatting today. It's been lovely. Um, I was quite scared at first, but yeah, you've been great, Deb, and I love your show, and I'm so glad you asked me to do this. I really appreciate it. I feel
Ah,
flattered, honestly, that you have asked me. And I just think keep doing what you're doing because it's great.
thanks so much, Janine. That means a lot. And it's an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. And
Amazing.
cannot wait to hear more music and see more live
I
shows. It's an
know.
absolute honor. Thank you so,
Well,
so
please
much.
let me know if you want to come to any of the shows in January, Feb. Like, I'm happy to sort you out with some tickets.
Thank you
If
so
there's any
much.
close by.
Thanks so
Amazing.
much. Take care. All
Right.
the best. Yeah.
Thank you.